This presentation is about breaking free from alcohol, and it should last no more than 30 minutes. So I'm going to share a little bit of my story, not too much, because this isn't about me, it's about you. We want to explain how you get your wings with our Breaking Free program. So my sorry tale, I had the best way I break it down to remember it is 3 wake-up calls. First wake-up call at the tender age of 25, when I drank so much that I blacked out and decided it was a good idea to have a bath and lock the door. And if it hadn't been for one of my flatmates hammering on the door because I'd gone silent and calling an ambulance because there was obviously a problem, I wouldn't be here now. So I actually had to be resuscitated. It was serious shit. And that was a big drama. But rather than thinking, oh, I wonder if I've got a problem with alcohol, we just turned it into a funny story, myself and my friends. And it was all, did you hear about Janet in her bath? What an idiot, blah, blah, blah. And just carried on. So that was my pattern in my teens and my 20s. I was very much a kind of party animal and a binge drinker, and used to get into all sorts of scrapes. But my blackouts normally weren't as serious as the one where I ended up in hospital. They were more blurry end of the evenings when you wake up and you think, oh, where's my handbag? Where's my jacket? How did I get home last night? But that was teens and 20s. And then at 30, I got married to it. Another heavy drinker. Surprise, met him in a bar and had my son at the age of 30. Didn't drink during my pregnancy, but it was a struggle. And I was very much whiting and nuttly and thinking, oh, how much long? And I couldn't wait to drink champagne and wet the baby's head. So, yeah, the second wake-up call came at the age of 55 when I had breast cancer. But this was back in 2006. And in those days, we didn't used to talk very much about the link between breast cancer and alcohol because it wasn't quite as well known as it is now. The evidence now is strong, but it wasn't particularly strong back then. So I didn't really join the dots. I just carried on drinking. And the real wake-up call came at the ripe old age of 63, when I was away with some friends on a boozy weekend, and I realized on the Sunday morning that I'd lost most of Saturday. I had no recall at all of about 6 or 7 hours. And what really frightened me was that my friends told me that I seemed absolutely normal. I was walking, I was talking. They didn't realize that I literally wasn't there. And that scared me because I think the breast cancer made me realize that I was harming my body with this stuff. But as you get older, the one thing you don't want to damage is your brain. And that was really my wake-up call. And the next morning I said to husband, not the drinking husband, he'd gone by then. I've now got a much more sensible husband, a non-party animal husband. And I said to him, that's it, I'm done with alcohol. So that's why I like hearing you guys say things like that. I'm done, I'm finished. You need to embrace that feeling, because I had it that Monday morning. I said to him, I'm done with alcohol. I'm never drinking again. And rather than saying to me, oh, I've heard that before, he said, I've never heard you say that before. You always say you're going to cut down. So that was the difference. I'd given up on moderation. So then, of course, I had to do it. So I trotted along to AA like you do, and couldn't get on with that at all. I couldn't find a nice group. I did go to several groups, but they seemed very male orientated, and also the people there were further down the line than me. I was well on my way there, but I hadn't lost my family and my job and my house, and the people there were a bit like that, so I couldn't relate. So I decided that I would just research and try and do it on my own. So I did, and I actually found, and I still find, the subject pretty fascinating. It's neuroscience, it's psychology, it's biology. It's a very interesting topic. So I got stuck into the theory of it all, and I built some practical tools But my turning point was when I went to a one-day workshop in London, and it was 12 ladies, and they were all a bit like me. They had good jobs, nice families, drinking a bottle of wine a night, but knowing it wasn't sustainable. So basically, I've found my people. And to this day, I say that is my number one tip for sobriety. Find your people and stay close to them. So I started Tribe Sober because I got the early sobriety blues, as I call it. And I can see Sarah on my screen. She had that as well. It's that flat feeling. So beware for that, ladies. If you feel a bit down after a few weeks, couple of months of being sober, it's normal. It's just your brain recalibrating, it's healing. But I didn't know that then, because I didn't know quite as much as I know today. So I felt pretty miserable, but I didn't quite know what to do, because my husband was so pleased after putting up with me for all the drinking years. And my son kept telling me how proud he was of me. So I thought, oh, I can't really drink. In fact, I was even blogging about how wonderful sobriety was. So I thought, I'll just sit here and be miserable and see what happens. And then gradually I started to feel different, and it was almost like my brain was sparking and coming alive, and I got all these ideas, and I used to write them on post-its like this. And one of those ideas was to start Tribe Sober, because I'd had a corporate career in training and development and coaching, and I thought I can transfer those skills to a community. So I did. Since 2015, that's what I've been doing. Started off running personal workshops. We did lots of media and TV in the beginning, because South Africans were fascinated by this mad foreign woman that was telling everybody not to drink. And that's a London workshop with Claire Pooley there. I saw some of you are reading her book. That's a Joburg workshop with the lovely Lynette there. And then the people that were coming to our workshops, they said, we want to stay connected with you. We want more content. But more importantly than that, we want to stay connected with each other. So that's why I set up the membership. And then in 2020, COVID times, I decided to start the podcast. And that's what made us go international, because suddenly we had American people and British people, and it was wonderful. And they were all joining. So that's me. Now, are you ready to break free? So here's my lovely quote. Reset was really just the first step on the staircase. And for some of you, you've had a glimpse of the alcohol-free life. Some of you came to us already with a good few days under your belt, but enough for you to sense maybe that this is going to be a much better lifestyle for me than what I'm doing at the moment. So this presentation really is an invitation to you to work with us to make it a permanent lifestyle. And breaking free, of course, is just a journey. And we want to take you from, this is the moderation swamp, this grey, nasty place. We want to pull you out there, take you from that hangover place to the sunlit fields and beaches of sobriety. This is where we're all going together. We haven't spent much time this week talking about the benefits of sobriety, so I just thought I would list them for you. And you can all read, so I'm not going to read them to you, but there are many. There really are. The sleep is a big one. And you'll see when you take your selfie again, that's a good one too. And the energy and motivation is big. I remember having my 60th birthday and feeling exhausted, and I thought, oh, that's what it's like to be old. And now I'm 74, and apart from when I'm got a horrible cold, I'm full of energy. So you'll get energy and motivation. You'll feel like doing stuff, because after a few glasses of wine, you just want to sit and have more wine. So I think that sobriety is a springboard, really, to personal growth. It's just the ticket to the show. It's just the beginning, and the band hasn't started to play. Recovery is 10% doing what you're doing, quitting, and then 90% of your energy will go into building a beautiful alcohol-free lifestyle. These are the people that are going to help you break free. There's the Tribe Sober team. Monica and myself work full-time on Tribe Sober. Lynette's got her own coaching business, but does a lot of work with us. Lucy is a volunteer, and all of these ladies are volunteers, and they've all got sober with us, and they love being sober, and they're all very generously paying it forward because they love being sober and they want to help other people to get sober. So you're going to have all of these people on your side. And how we created it was we took the best content, learnings and resources of the last decade and created a logical path, really. You've got a starting point and a logical path. And I really wish that I'd found this program 10 years ago. It would have helped me a lot. And knowledge is power. And we want to avoid overwhelm, which is really a thing with these online courses. I do quite a few. And sometimes they just send you too much content all at once. So what we've done is we've divided ours into weekly modules. And on a Monday, we're going to send you a new module. And at the end of that week, you'll have a quiz just to check your understanding. It's like multiple choice. And if you've got anything wrong, then you just go back and check in the content, and then you come back and put the right answer in, and then you can move on to the next one. So it's structured, it's logical, and it'll help you understand the neuroscience and the psychology of this topic. And you'll learn to manage your brain, which is very useful in life as well as getting sober. So the course itself is made up of these 4 components. So community support, you've got the WhatsApp, as you've seen the power of that this week. You'll also be invited to all of Tribe Sober member Zoom meetings. There's 4 a week now. And we'll have a few breaking free Zoom meetings as well, just for the group of 20 that are in it. The masterclass is on the 6th of June, probably start at about 5 p.m. SA time. The online course, that's what I've just been talking about. And then there's 3 coaching sessions. You'll have an intro session with Mon, who will take you through the technology, because some people are quite anxious about even Zoom and how to get on the online course. So she'll make sure that you understand everything and also get to know you, of course. We want to know your backstory and how we can best help you. Midway through the course, Lynette will run a group coaching session. And then at the end, you'll have a one-to-one with Darren, who will help you apply your learning to your daily life. He will make sure that you're doing that and not just learning the theory, because we want you to land the helicopter. And we've designed it to get you through the hardest bit, because I imagine some of you are feeling pretty good at the moment because you've done this. You've wrapped up at least a couple of days, 3 days more of sobriety now. So you're thinking, I remember I felt early on, I felt, oh, this is easy. Why didn't I do this years ago? But sadly, that doesn't last. And recovery is never linear. It's up and it's down. So please be prepared to be all over the place with your emotions. So you'll probably cry at the cookery shows. One lady told me she kept crying every time she watched a cookery show. Why was that? Don't know. But yeah, your emotions will be all over the place. So be ready for that. And that's why it's wonderful to be in a group. You just get on the WhatsApp, you say, oh, I'm going through this. And then someone will chip in and say, I remember feeling like that. And this is what I did. And it really helped. So breaking free gets you through the process of transition. This is another way of displaying that. The first couple of weeks for some people, they are in withdrawal. And we saw Jen, didn't we? She struggled with physical withdrawal for a day out of the week this week. And then 15 to 45 days, you'll get these nice kind of glimmers, as we call them, because when we rely on alcohol to make us feel good for years, for decades, our natural feel-good hormones are the dopamine receptors, and they get a bit lazy because they think, sure, she's got that chemical to make her feel good. We don't have to do any work. So now that we've stopped drinking, they have to wake up and get to work again. And that takes a while, but they start spiking as they wake up gradually. And that's why you'll get these kind of nice little glimmers of how life can be. And then just hang in there. You can get low moods, good moods, bad moods. But usually after 3 months, it settles down because everything's recalibrating in your brain and it gets a lot easier. And that's when you need to start working on creating a new lifestyle that you really enjoy. So a few mistakes here. Mistake number 1, thinking reset week will be enough. Thinking, okay, I've done reset, now I'm fixed. You're not actually, probably, because the motivation will fade, the connections will weaken. This group that you're on will go next week. You won't have those people to rely on anymore. You might get the fading effect bias that I spoke about earlier this week, and start thinking, I did reset. I did a nice week without alcohol. I'm sure I can just have a glass of wine at this wedding and I'll be fine. I won't want to drink next week, but you probably will. And it is hard to do this alone. Another mistake is to procrastinate, to kick the can down the road. I did this for years and years. And remember, there'll never be a perfect time to quit. There'll always be a party or a wedding or a social function you can't miss. And in fact, it's not good to be a recluse anyway. You need to get out there and manage and learn how to cope, learn how to socialize without alcohol. And drinking habits don't pause, they deepen. Every month that you wait is another month of lost energy, lost clarity, and lost peace. So the best time to start is now. And just play the movie forward, and in 12 weeks' time, your life will have changed dramatically. And yes, this is a good one for us ladies, because with careers and kids, we're far too busy to do some kind of course. But we know about busy. I had a very busy corporate career along with my very busy drinking career. So we know about busy. I've designed Breaking Free to be flexible. So the online course is at your own pace. You've actually got lifetime access to that. The coaching sessions will be scheduled to suit you. You're just asked what is the best time for you to do it. And the live masterclass, which is the one on the 6th of June, that's the only thing we recommend that you attend live, because it's so lovely to meet the other 19 people on the course. But if you're really stuck, then we can send you a recording. And here's the thing that busy people need to remember, that in the long run, sobriety will save you time. When you're not planning the drinking, doing the drinking, recovering, it'll save you time. And you'll have energy to do stuff, more energy. I'm not going to read these to you, but I just wanted to show you the busy people that we've helped with Breaking Free, just a little sample of them. We've got Sally's an executive in London. Nolene's a lawyer here in South Africa. We've got a financial advisor from UK, and David is a doctor here. And remember that alcohol is a trap, and it's a thief, and it steals all these things from us. 60 diseases, 7 types of cancer. And peace of mind. There was chat, wasn't there, this afternoon about these voices and the struggle and the arguments that we have in our head. And it's such a lovely advantage not to have all that going on anymore. And the money, we did an exercise, didn't we, today about the money? I'll talk more about that in a moment. I made a couple of slides. So I've talked to you about this study. Alcohol can keep us trapped for a lifetime, but the average amount of time that people struggle before reaching out is 11 years. So isn't it time that you broke free? And you, the BF10. So I've been quite busy recently, revamping the course a little bit, because this is the 10th time that we've run it. So what I looked at from experience now, so as you can imagine, with 9 courses, we've taken a lot of people through this now, nearly 200. And we find that after about 6 weeks, about halfway through the course, we can normally tell who is absolutely nailing this and who is really going to have no trouble and fly through it. And then we have a few people that are struggling, that are finding it harder. So I thought after halfway through the course, I would split it and put in some new modules and retailer it. So now we've got what I'm calling BF Plus. So for people that are struggling a little bit, we put them on this BF Plus, Sustaining Your Sobriety. And then people that are absolutely nailing it, we're putting them on the one we're calling Thriving in Sobriety, taking your sobriety to the next level. What I think we'll do is halfway through the course, we'll get the Breaking Free students on a Zoom, and I'll give them the info about these 2 courses in more detail, and then we'll let them choose which fork in the road they want to take. So these are the 2 courses. And then you also get Janet in your pocket, as Leanne was calling it the other day. You'll be relieved to know that I only speak when I'm spoken to. So this is a custom GPT that I made, which is like ChatGPT, but I've just put in all the content from our Breaking Free course, other bits as well. So you can just talk to it. If you can't sleep one night and there's nobody on the group, then talk to Janet GPT. She'll always have an answer for you. So we're just trying that again. We're very open to feedback always, but I think it'll be fun. Bonuses, the first 5 to sign up from this session will get an extra coaching session. All the sign-ups will get, so we've got an ebook called 66 Days to Sobriety. We've also got something called Boot Camp on Demand. We used to call this Reset Boot Camp. We have the 5 talk that you've had, plus the tasks, plus the podcast, all in a nice folder that Monica put together beautifully. So we'll send that to you, anyone that signs up. And then tribe members, of course, get a 20% discount on Breaking Free. So it's the June-July course, 20 places. So we've got 8 people signed up. We're leaving the cart open for 5 days or until we get to 20 people. And the masterclass is on 6th of June. There is a payment plan. If you want to split the payments into 2, then you just pay the first half to book your place, you start the course, and then you pay the second half in a month's time. Yes, and we've got a sponsorship. We've got a lovely lady that did BF9 with us, and she's now thriving in her sobriety, and she loved the cause, and she wants to pay for one person to do Breaking Free 10. And unfortunately, I can't tell you much about her because she wanted to be anonymous. But trust me, she's a lovely and obviously very generous person. So what I'm suggesting is that you email me with reasons why that should be you if you're interested in being sponsored. And what I'll do is I'll pass your emails onto her and let her make the choice. So talking of choices, you've got two now. You can either do nothing and stay stuck in that struggle place, and your life will stay pretty much the same, because that's what it does to us. Our life gets stuck. It doesn't evolve as it should. And the drinking will get worse, because that's what it does. Or you can enter our safe space of transformation and break free once and for all, and become the person you were meant to be. Do you remember I told you not to compare yourself with the tramp in the park and think, I'm not like him? You should be comparing yourself with the best person that you can be. And you have a chance to be that person. So both of these choices are quite hard, because even if you do breaking free, you'll have a period of adjustment. It will be hard for a few months. But if you're curious and if you listen and learn and do the work, breaking free and your tribe within a tribe will get you through. It'll be so much harder if you keep drinking, becoming more dependent, more anxious, and putting your health at risk. So please start your journey today, because if not today, then when? Wouldn't it be worth it to be alcohol-free without feeling deprived, to break free from guilt, blame and shame, to end the struggle and find peace, and to be healthier and happier? A couple of quotes from Breaking Free graduates here. We've got Helen, who might come to Lynn's meeting tomorrow. And it was her that came up with breaking free as the tribe within a tribe. And of course, our lovely Lynn said that she never knew she needed a community until she had one. Here's just a few people from our community. We've got so many lovely pictures like this now, but this is Merlene from SA that went to see Ros in Spain. And then we've got Lucy and Helen, who came down to meet Grania in South Africa. Ellen from US went to meet Ruth in Scotland, and people are whizzing around the globe to connect, because people make lifelong friendships here in 𝐿𝐵𝐵. I never imagined that would happen, but it has, and it's beautiful. So let's talk about the money. So Heidi, I don't know if Heidi's here today. She's been our lovely cheerleader on research. This is something I had from when she did Breaking Free. She used to spend $1,200 a year on alcohol. So she was able to recoup the cost of breaking free in 3 months. And then she did the calculation, she would be able to save $6,000 over the 5 years. Neat. 3,600 euros. So she's going to recoup breaking free costs in a month. Jen, 2,912, very precise, going to recoup the costs in a month. Valerie, 2,340, 6 weeks she'll recoup the cost. And Kelly was 3,000. So again, 6 weeks. And then it's not just about recouping the costs, it's then you can spend that, you can save that money. And it'll be quite a significant amount, and you'll be surprised how much it mounts up. We had an English lady that loved cruising, so she had a big glass jar that she called her cruising jar, and she would drop £10 a day in it, because that's what she spent on alcohol. And as soon as the jar was full, she'd go off and book a cruise. So having a physical reminder of how much money you're saving is a great idea. And Leslie's getting a new car. I think Leslie is here, isn't she? But in the exercise, she said she was saving $300 a month, which is what she would spend on booze. She's going to put it in a savings account for her new car. So I don't know how many years it'll take to get that one, or if you have a more modest model in mind, Leslie, but I just thought I can see you in that. I thought it might be fun.
Thank you. That looks like a good one. Not so practical, but.
So where are we? We've got 12 places left. Yep. Make this the year you invest in yourself. Yeah, that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about investing in ourselves and our future rather than poisoning ourselves. And Helen's going to have the last word here.
Hello, everyone. Helen here from a wet and rainy UK. Sincerely hope that you are all keeping well. So the big question, can I afford to complete the Breaking Free program? The question should be, can I afford not to join the Breaking Free program? Breaking Free has changed my life. 3 months of solid support from Janet and the team, tasks, quick hits, suggestions, podcasts, etc. Above all, a community of like-minded, kind people that I now consider to be sisters from another mister and a brother from another mother. In the first month, I saved enough from not buying the booze and the associated rubbish food to pay for my Breaking Free program, and I've gone on since then to save since March over £2,500. As a bonus, I've also lost 2 stone because booze is full of sugar, and I would ultimately always eat takeaways when I was drunk. So yeah, come on, join the Breaking Free program. You will have no regrets. I look forward to seeing you there. Bye.